snow for the rest of the day. Total accumulations are going to be about 3 to 5 inches, which is not too bad. But it's one of these events that's been forecast for several days, so people should be pretty well prepared. Well, I'm going to change the sponsorship to Chock full of nuts coffee. That's what I'm working on this morning. That's my favorite brand. And I know some of you Wawa guys might be a little disappointed in that, but Chock full of nuts it is here in Buffalo. And Perry, that sounds pretty exciting about your son coming up to Pennsylvania for the holidays. I know you've been looking forward to that, so that's always going to be a great event, especially if you throw in a hockey game or so. And hopefully the weather is going to support all of that that holiday time for you. Well, we're on the old DX100 as usual this morning with the SB220 and listening to everybody on the NC303. Kevin, you're coming in pretty good. And that's Wisconsin Kevin. And I haven't heard too much from Kentucky Kevin because he's off getting coffee. So anyway, that's the situation here this morning, and we'll try for Kentucky Kevin right now, who should be into a few sips of the new coffee. So off to you, KK4GZQ in the group. This is W2BNY Buffalo.
See if he's in there. How you back? KK4GZQ to a ZNI, and if not, I'll take it.
I think he might have drifted back to his bed.
You know, you may be right. That really doesn't sound like a bad idea. Alrighty, W2BNY here in the group. I'm going to film you next in line here, and then I'll send it off to Kevin. And then if Kevin's still not back, then it goes over to you, Barry. So let me chop my in there. Okay. So, very good. W2BNY, KA2ZNI return. Nice to hear you on this one, Steve. Good signal down here. You're running about 5 to 10 over 9. Yeah, last little go there, Perry, you were up at about 10 to 15 over 9, so those signals there this morning. And I'll tell you what, Perry, that's great that your son is coming home. Oh man, I hope you guys have a lot of fun. My other daughter is in Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, and I won't be seeing her this year, but you were talking about your son coming home, and I'm thinking, man, it's just, spring when family can get together. Time is relatively short here on planet Earth. So we can all get together, have some fun, and enjoy each other because, man, it's just, it goes too quick. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It's just amazing how quick the years have gone by, and, my mom's gone, my dad's gone, of course, all my grandparents. An uncle is gone now, and I come from a relatively big family. And it just goes too quick. And you get around this time of the year, and it really gives you a chance to start thinking about all those things. Maybe, or at least I'm talking for myself, should have appreciated a little more and didn't. So now as the years go on ahead here, I try to appreciate things a little bit more than what I used to. So with that being said, that's great. Your son is coming home. That's got to be exciting. I know you're looking forward to it. And hopefully we'll be able to you know, well, at least some of us be able to have a chance to accelerate. And I'm not sure if he's in the amateur radio or not, but it'd be great to hear him on your station anyway. And get a chance to say hi. So, yeah, exciting. Good stuff coming up for sure. So I think you said on the, if I heard you, on the 26th, day after Christmas. And then I'll be there for about 5 days, so that's excellent. And very good on the weather out there. Yeah, you're in a way kind of got what we had a couple of days back. We kind of saw the same thing, only we didn't have as warm a weather, but we did have stuff that was up in the 40s, and as we were talking this morning, we're down to about 2 degrees. So in a couple of days, we went from 40, 45 degree weather down to 2 degrees here this morning. At least the last time I looked. Might be a little colder now. I know yesterday morning up in Minneapolis, they had -6 for a low, you know, without the wind chill. So it is the season. And as Steve was talking about the big dump coming out, it was kind of chuckling in a way. I mean, it's not really a contest, but we actually had our first big dump here a few weeks back, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I've already had the snowblower out about 3 or 4 different times. And I think we've had our totals altogether now are somewhere between 12 inches and 14 inches of snow. And then we had that point to melt it off. Now we've got this weather. And after today of this 2 degree weather stuff, we're supposed to get back up into the 30s again. So, you know, the weather is all over the chart here. So batten down the hatches, Steve. Yeah, 3 to 5. That's usual. That's usual business up there. Not too bad. And hopefully you don't get any more than that. And hopefully that 3 to 5 is stretched out over a period of time. And then that ain't so bad either. It's when you get those huge dumps in a couple of 3 hours time is when it gets to be a real mess. So anyway, and very good on the, what did you say, the chock full of nuts coffee? We got the chock full of nuts coffee. I imagine Barry has got his raw coffee, and we're sucking down some Kona blend over here. And really kind of appreciated the Kona blend coffee since I moved into the area up here. Someone kind of turned me on to that, so I go, well, my wife, she goes down to the store and gets the fresh Kona beans. And then, you know, I'll blend another up on fresh Kona coffee, which is what we're doing right now. That's a pretty good blend. I really like that coffee. It's a little bit milder than the Colombian coffee. It's got a real good flavor to it, pretty mellow. And that still provides a bit of a kick to get us going here in the morning hours. So to get started on the DX100, Barry is sounding good on the Anand. Then talking off of the mousetrap down there, and he kind of went AWOL at us, but not sure he'll return here in a minute. So, anyway, I've said enough. Over to you, Kevin, if you're there. KK4GZQ to pick it up. And if not, back up to you, Perry. KA2ZNI.
Okay, Kevin. KA2ZNI with the group, KK4GZQ. Good morning again, Terry. And good morning to Steve. I know W2BNY. I think I heard you guys say it's Steve Jr. I missed that. Morning, Steve. I know you're sounding good as long as we have good propagation. Steve's really been sounding good here as of late. Well, here for a while now. Steve's been holding a great signal with great audio. Anyway, on the mousetrap, just direct D104 input right now. I'm going to go back to the drawing board on the 222. I've been trying a hand mic on it, and I don't think that's adequate. I don't know. Anyway, maybe some more adjustment. I'm throwing my hands up in the air. We're just trying about anything now. But you know, Kevin, the recording you sent me, the 222 with the hand mic didn't sound bad at all. The fidelity was pretty decent, but I don't know. It just didn't seem to have the punch and everything that the D1 had, and that could be coming from my output level adjustment on the 222. Anyway, question mark, question mark, question. Anyway, we'll continue trying. And Perry, I'm going to send it up your way, and also W3MMR in there before I checked out, so you guys drag the big DJ might want to check back in here shortly as well. W3MMR near Philadelphia. KK4GZQ near Lexington. Good morning.
There's somebody breaking in. Who's that?
I believe that was WB4YIB.
All right, well, go ahead, WB4YIB, pick it up. And then send it up my way to W3MMR. WB4YIB from W3MMR. Good morning.
Kevin, the damn changed on me. I barely copy you or see you. I'll put the gun down. Maybe it'll straighten up in a minute. It's just stick the nose down.
All right, roger that. On the rough copy. You're a little bit above my noise level up this way. But nevertheless, nevertheless, I still was able to copy it. Well, good morning to you. Nevertheless, hold on, let me make sure I got everything going here. Okay, we're good. All right, a couple of things to comment on. Well, thanks for the kind words there, Kevin, about my son coming home. And yeah, I'm very, very excited. He's 8. He just turned 8 in September. His name's Dixon. Dixon, like the Mason-Dixon line, but I didn't name him after the Mason-Dixon line. Okay, I named him after Willie Dixon, the famous blues musician from the 1930s. Famous Delta blues musician. I always thought it was a cool name. So I went ahead, and the ex-old lady agreed to it, and Dixon was what it was. Dixon Reed is his name there. His middle name's Reed. And he's a great kid, and you know it's no surprise, it's no secret that I went through some stuff in my life, and you know, addiction problems, issues. You know, when my ex-wife left, and I went through a really, really rough patch in my life that I'm, you know, honestly not ashamed of, and that I'm surprised that I was able to come out on the other side, because not many people do. Either end up in jail or dead. And I ended up, you know, both of those, and then, you know, ended up coming out on the other side. But anyway, you know, after going through that and you know, building up all those relationships again, and getting back in his life and building a relationship up with him again, and you know, me and my father didn't talk for years. I mean, me and him, we were never close, you know, when I was growing up through high school, and he was always just trying to do his best for me, and you know, and trying to keep me on the straight and narrow, and I always just wanted to rebel and party, and you know, and he was just trying to look out for me, and all I wanted to do was work. I didn't want to go to school, or, you know, I was like, I don't need college, I'm just going to go to work. All my friends are working, I'm just going to go to work, you know, and I never listened to him, and now after going through, you know, through what I went through, and not talking to him for, you know, years, and now I'm sure you guys see that we have a very good relationship. Me and my father, we're closer than ever. We talk every single day, whether it be on the radio or on the phone or via text message. We talk all throughout. I mean, literally from the morning to the night. And there hasn't been one day that we haven't talked in probably 3 years now, that we've talked every single day, at least at one point throughout the day, for 3 years now. And we've become the best of friends. And as close as I've ever been with anybody, any of my friends or any family member in my entire life. And we both, put our differences aside and said that life's way too short, to be holding these grudges, And so we, like I said, we put all those things aside, and we have a great relationship now. And same goes with, with my kid, with my ex-wife. After all the stuff that we went through, now we're the best of friends, for my son's sake. And we can sit there and hold a conversation, on the telephone where she's sitting there, complaining about her new boyfriend or whatever, and, just venting to me, and, it's just, you got to put all that stuff aside, because, Kevin, like, I can't imagine being in the position that you're in and having lost your mother, having lost your father, having lost your grandparents, it just, I couldn't imagine losing my parents. I mean, I have a close relationship with my mother, too. She only lives 2 blocks from me. I see her, if not every day, every other day. Talk to her every day. Life's way too short, man. And anyone listening to me now might sound like a broken record at this point, but if you got relationships out there that could be rebuilt, just rebuild them. Take the time to do it. You'll be happy you did. You'll be wishing that you did it a long time ago. So anyway, enough with the sad, sappy stuff. Real good on the 2 degrees. Kevin, that's a heck of a temperature swing. Yeah, it hasn't been that cold here yet. It's probably got down to 14 or 15 here, but I'm sure we'll experience some single digits at some point during the winter season here. And Kevin, the mousetrap sounds great this morning with the D104 right anyway. I don't know what you're trying to do or accomplish with the 322. I'm not that familiar with it. I'm pretty familiar with it. I haven't for a short period of time. I just use it basically as a brick wall limiter. You know what I mean? As a bandwidth limiting, a piece of gear. That's really all I used it for, and used other processing in conjunction with it, with the 222. That's pretty much all I used it for, was for that. So, and yep, and we're trying to get him on the air here. Like I said, he's only 8. He has, an interest in video games and electronics. I bought him an at-home electronics kit to build, and he's extremely smart. He's top of his class in everything, and reading, math, and writing. I mean, literally and everything. The kid's way ahead of him. Way ahead of his age. But he has kind of an interest in the radio. But I know if he lived with me full time, he would probably have his ticket, because he's that smart, and he would really be interested if he was around it all the time. But we'll get him on the air. Make sure we get him on here in the morning, and to say hi to the crew, and I'm sure he'll love it, and I'm sure you guys will too. Keep it moving along. Sorry for the old buzzard. Over to you, Steve. W2BNY in the Wawa Breakfast Club with the Chock full of Nuts sponsorship. W3MMR.
Okay, Perry, W3MMR and the group W2BNY. Yeah, that, listening to you talk about relationships in your family, Perry, I don't consider that sappy at all. In fact, listening to your story there, it's a great Christmas story. It's a great time of year to reflect on relationships, and listening to you talk about the things you've been through, and as you put it, coming out the other side. They say sometimes that stuff makes us stronger, and obviously in your case and in your family's case, that's what happened. So that's great. A great Christmas story. That's always good to hear that kind of stuff any time of year, but especially this time of year. And Dixon, yeah, you're going to have to work on him to get him into the amateur radio ranks. I know this generation and the generations before have been sort of sidetracked on internet and computer stuff. And, the old fascination of crystal radios and the magic of radio is somewhat dimmed for these current kids, into technology. But I got to tell you, I'm going to be 72 years old here in a couple of weeks, and amateur radio and radio has always been beside me from the very early days, around 6, 7, 8 years old. all the way through my life, and you know, there have been ups and downs of intensity of activity, but I've always come back to amateur radio as just a wonderful hobby. It's something that you have an opportunity to use your mind, and the other tremendous benefit is you have a chance to meet a lot of interesting folks, such as yourself. I should say yourself. And so hopefully Dixon will take an interest in it. And as you said, if he watches you and your enthusiasm on the air, he probably will pick up a bit of it, maybe a whole lot of it, and get his ticket someday. Kevin, I'm not familiar with the 222 you talk about with the hand mic. Is that a modulator for the BC610? I'm sort of curious what type of gear that is. I suspect the hand mic is maybe a carbon mic. I think the BC610 in its original form took the carbon mic, so I was sort of curious about that. And Kevin, up in Wisconsin, 2 degrees. Wow, that we haven't hit those kinds of lows so far. We're at 26, and as I mentioned before, we're expecting 3 to 5 inches of snow. When I took the garbage out about a half an hour ago, there wasn't any snow coming down, so I think it's going to start around 7 a.m. and go for about 12 hours. And according to the reports, it's the snow is not going to be stretched out over several hours. They're saying when it hits, it's going to be one of those bursts. So usually when they talk about a burst, it's like 2 inches of snow an hour, you know, for a short period of time. But it's probably really going to dump that. So anyway, I'm having a little trouble copying BJ. So I think what I'll do is send it up to Wisconsin, Kevin, KA2ZNI, if he's copying, and he can take it from there. So KA2ZNI, this is W2BNY.
Okay, very good. W2BNY here in the group this morning, KA2ZNI. Finally starting to get my radio voice back here after 5 hours of sleep last night. Yeah, very good. And yeah, not as Steve said there, Perry, not sappy at all, man. That's a great story, actually. Definitely an inspiration for some others that may be listening. That you know, Christmas time just has that special touch, and when you can go through what you've gone through and come out on the other end, and you know, have a great family get together this year. You know, that's what it's all about. And I'm glad of course, your dad. You know, we talked to him on the air, and your mom is still there. And you know, your son there, Dixon, coming up. Yeah, I look forward to hearing him on the air. And I think around the Christmas season there, I might take an extra day or 2 off. So hopefully we'll have the pleasure of speaking to that young man when you get him on the radio. And you know, who knows, down the road he might pick up the interest, and he might have another generation of amateur radio operators at the helm there. So boy, that'd be great to hear him on. I bet you know, tickle you just as much as it tickles your dad there to hear you on the air. So hope you all have a great holiday season, and I'm sure you will. Let's see, I took some notes down here. So you said next go around there, Steve, I'm wondering when your birthday is, because you said a couple of more weeks. So I'm maybe guessing that your birthday perhaps might be in December. Our birthday is coming up. We'll be 50 years old there, 2 days after Christmas. So our birthday is the 27th. So I always had a good Christmas, but I always got cheated out on my birthday for presents. Really didn't. I really didn't. I tell that story, but I really had a pretty good birthday every year. And now that I get older, I tend to, it's just another day to me. I tend to just bypass it. My lovely wife always has things to do for us, but she always does something nice. But anymore, it's just another day, another year that I'm thankful to be around, to enjoy life. And as you said, Steve, we started out in radio 40 years ago, 42 years ago, 42 years ago, I guess. And from time to time, we've thrown it up on the shelf, but we always seem to come back to it. Always one of those hobbies that sticks. And thankful that we have it. I've had other interests that everybody else has had through the years. My next, I would say I probably enjoy it every bit as much, maybe perhaps a little bit more, of course, is the shooting sports. But I always keep coming back to this hobby. And I think probably this time as I've gotten older, I've gotten frustrated with it a time or two. I've seen a lot of changes. Different things. The guys that I grew up with on the radio are no longer here. When I was still, it seemed like I was still a kid back then because, when I was 8 and 10 years old, my Elmers were, in their 30s and 40s, and, they've all passed on. And when I left Pennsylvania, we had a nice group of guys, probably about 10, 12 guys that I would get on daily level. And, they're no longer out here, and now I'm starting over here in Wisconsin, so it's fun like getting in the radio all over again. A lot of new voices, new call signs. So, but anyway, really do enjoy the hobby, and even though I've gave up on it 3 or 4 times, it seems like we just come right back to it and picked up where we left off. And Kevin, GZQ, the last go around there sounded great, sounded good there. So whatever we got going on, you're doing it right. Those little nitpicking, fine-tuning things are, a lot of times only something that we're going to hear. Like when I did the phase shift in my signal. Out here, I can hear the recording of it. I can hear it plain as day, but once it gets to the other side, and my signal will be my place. A lot of times, the other guys aren't going to pick up on all those little subtle differences that we tend to be a little over critical of ourselves when we're setting things up, and in the end there, it's just if you get it close and it sounds good, and the guys will say it sounds good and doing a good job, that's about all you can hope for. But it's fun to be critical, and I do it and you're doing it. Yes, Ben does it. I think everybody else has a time or two playing with the stuff. It's like, man, you gotta get that last little bit out of there, for that audio, and it's just having fun here. And we all get wrapped up in it. You said the other day that you had to step out on the porch a couple of times and take a breather, but I think you're doing fine, Kevin. You really are. Good on anything you're on. You put in a good signal up there. You do great with the BCBs, or not the BCBs, but the mousetrap. Getting you confused with Michael because he calls his the BCBs. But your mousetrap, and of course your Ranger, your Flex when you're on it, and Fair's sounding great out here this morning. Steve up Buffalo, that's 100. Got that dialed in perfectly, doing a great job. So it's just nice to get out here. So many fine sounding AM stations. So I'll run long enough, and probably too long. It goes over to you, Kevin, and then I think from there you were sending it down to PJ. I must see there. I'll say good morning to BJ if you're still down there listening. Just tell you're in there on the panel definitely really not hearing any modulation, but flyback emissions just aren't quite there for the guys to the far south yet. And I know you guys have trouble with me down there as well. You know, I'm kind of on the outskirts here. So anyway, over to you, Kevin. KK4GZQ to take it here in the group this morning, the fine group, KA2ZNI. K9GAS, good morning. Oh, there he is.
Hey, Kevin, let Jerry pick it up because he's kind of marginal. And well, let's see. I'll go ahead and take it. This is Jerry. Gas man. I'm still out here pulling my hair out, Jerry. I won't need a haircut with this. KA2ZNI with the group KK4GZQ. Barry, Steve, BJ, Kevin, and Perry, your story about what's happened, and you know, the way I feel about it, you go through lessons of life, and sometimes we have to have some hard lessons to make us appreciate. I know I've been down that road, and I understand it pretty well. You wonder sometimes why in the heck you had to go through what you did, but in the end, you're better off for it. That's not all I can say about that. And okay, I've got written down here coming out on the other side. Boy, how lucky you are, lucky that you have family and friends to support you. And it was all up to you in the end whether you did or not. So remember that. It was you that made the change. Anyway, and I can't imagine when you were talking about life without your parents. I sat here and thought about it often as my parents were of age, and myself as well. So anyway, Barry, thanks for your comments on the 222 about and that kind of answers Steve's question about. He asked about the 222. Yeah, and Jerry could answer more about this piece than I can. But yeah, you talked about it as being the 222 being a brick wall limiter, and it talks about in the owner's manual that I've now read 4 times completely that it's most frequently used with an EQ or other equipment. And I think the brick wall limiter is probably a good description of it. What do you think, Jerry? And it is an AM processor is what it is, Steve, is what they actually label it as. And the hand mic that's on it is not a carbon. It is a dynamic mic that I was using with it. And my BC614, Steve, has 2 inputs. It's got a carbon mic input with a gain, and it also has a mic number 2 dynamic input with the gain level as well. Kevin, happy birthday coming up. Of course, I guess in a couple of weeks, you said it's the 27th, 2 days after Christmas, and you're going to hit the big 5-0. Yeah. Anyway, it's just a number, man. And the BC Beast, okay, yeah, big old transmitter, and some of these guys really got them sounding really good. And you guys mentioned DX100s. I've always thought the DX100s, the ones I've heard here on the air, yours, Perry, Steve, yours, with no exception, they sound really good here on the air. Gas man, it goes up to Perry in PA, W3MMR. K9GAS. Good morning. Sorry for keeping it so long, Jerry. KK4GZQ.
Okay, Kevin. Yeah, you're essays here. I guess I missed that. Hang on. Premium morning. Might have been better had I been up earlier. Felt good to sleep in a little bit. I'm getting forced, so I think I'm coming down with a cold. The grandkids somehow I had it, so or it's just morning and sinuses. I don't know yet, but good morning all. Kevin, State Barry, and I think you BJ, if you're in there, good morning. And so I wasn't quite sure if it goes to BJ or Perry, so didn't quite, but most of it, from what you're cutting through, pretty good. And Kevin, if you're probably not hearing me, so I'm not going to comment, but on the front of that thing, I was going to message you, I will, but that pre-emphasis switch, you can turn that off. That's part of that kind of what we were talking about yesterday, so that'll put it in flat response. So if you're getting a lot of in there, just turn that thing off. With the mics are designed, different functions, so different stuff hooked up, but I'm sure you're probably not hearing me, so I'm sorry. Anyway, just got some coffee here. Kevin, ZNI here, booming in here. So I don't know about the rest of them yet. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's in good shape. If not, I probably missed a good morning. I know it starts fading away as it gets closer to the 7 o'clock-ish time for the Eastern board anyway. Does it go to BJ or you, Perry? I know you know the rotation, so I'll let you go pick it up, I guess, and if it goes to BJ, send it down to him. And okay, Kevin got me on the mass SDR, so one of those high emphasis, that pre-emphasis switch on the front there, just turn it off. See what you got. That's usually the curve, or the way that the emphasis curve on the upper end frequency. So anyway, or if it's off, turn it on. That's one of the experiments. But that's a basic box, but it does do brick wall limiting. But I think you're set at 9.5, and there's a 500 hertz roll before it drops way deep. So it's a 10 in the RSC standard. But if you put the 5 in there, that'll get you real nicely there for the ham band. So, but you got to replace all those resistors, and I think as the list shows, about 18 resistors and 2 caps. Get your soldering skills up. W3MMR, Perry, go ahead, or if it goes to BJ, send it to him. I didn't quite catch what Kevin said. This is K9GAS.
BJ's just standing by.
You want to pick it up, BJ?
He's just standing by.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I heard you say that, but I didn't know if you meant he was there, ready to go. But nevertheless, good morning to you, Gas Man. Sounding good over here. Obviously, big signal as always. And great to hear you. You sound phenomenal. I'm feeling good this morning. I'm finally getting over this cold. My throat's still a little on the scratchy side in the mornings, as I'm sure you can hear, but I don't have that sick body feeling anymore, which is great. And just in time for my day off today. So real quick before I forget, I don't know if you guys heard the W1AW commemorative thing is going on today, commemorating the 1BCG transatlantic tests. So there'll be, I think, on 40 and 20, if I believe, if I'm correct. I'm trying to pull it up here again, the actual information. But I know Clark, N1BCG, is going to be heading it up, and I know Mike, K3FEF. I know Mike is at the ARRL headquarters participating and helping out with it. I do know that. Do know that much. But I'm just trying to pull it up here. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I just want to say this before I forget. But anyway, once I pull it up, I'll continue on. But nevertheless, thanks for all the kind words, guys, about my little story there. Yeah, it was a really rough time in my life, but I'm not ashamed of it. It made me who I am. It made me stronger, maybe a stronger person mentally, and emotionally. And I could really get through anything, any kind of issue. that I used to think that was a big deal before is minuscule now in comparison. It pales in comparison to some of the stuff that I went through. So I try not to, I don't make a big deal out of, little things anymore like I used to. And I just try to take things in stride. And the number one thing is I cherish every day like there isn't no tomorrow. Because you never know. I could walk out my front door, this morning, slip and fall, boom, I'm dead. That's it. It's that easy. I mean, life is a fragile thing, and I know a lot of you guys know that. So I'm not telling you guys anything new. Life is a fragile thing, and you got to, in my opinion, you need to live your life, with that in the forefront. And I just want, I want my son to have everything that was afforded to me by my father growing up, and all the opportunities that he gave to me, to be successful and to be a responsible, and productive member of society, and just kind of try to follow my father's footsteps, because he's been a heck of a role model to me. And, but no, life's good now. I love getting in here every morning with you guys. You guys make my mornings every morning. I love starting my day here with you guys in the morning. Puts this big smile on my face. And that goes for everybody in the AM community here. In the evenings as well. I just, it's a great group of guys I can call friends. And I know that I could, if I needed to email you guys, or if I had your numbers, call you guys. If I ever needed anything, or just to BS or talk if I had an issue. The same goes for you guys. The door's always open. It's an open door policy. So real good on that, and I appreciate all the kind words, guys. And we'll keep it moving along here. Back over to you, Steve. I wonder if you're still doing with everybody up there. W2BNY. To take it from W3MMR. Oh, real quick, sorry. The one W1AW thing is, it starts tonight, I believe, at... they're focusing on 40 meters and 20 meters in the event of 1,300 to 0 hours UTC. So it starts at 1,300 hours today. So that would be 2 hours. A little less than 2 hours. Over to you, Steve. W2BNY, W3MMR.
W3MMR, W2BNY here in chilly 25 degrees right now. Well, Perry, talking about challenges in life. Being an old Bell System retiree, I always think of the Alexander Graham Bell quote. He said, when one door closes, another opens. But we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened for us. And I got to say, Perry, you're focusing on doors and moving through life, and that's always good here. As I said before, you told a great Christmas story here on the air, and we all appreciate it. I meant to mention, Perry, your vocal characteristics and those of your dad are very close. I am sure you have heard that on the air before. But you two guys could get on the air without using your call signs, and I would know it would be each of you. The vocal character, you sound very close to your dad in the way you phrase and pronounce things. So very pleasant to hear on the air, for sure. And ZNI, I have to say, holy smoke, we've got the same birth date, December 27th. Yours almost 50 years ago, and mine almost 72 years ago. So, I always have been asked the question, when you have a birth date of December 27th, didn't you get cheated out of presents, and wasn't that a sort of a downer? And my experience was quite the contrary. For one thing, it was the time of year that I really loved, with the snow and all of the outdoor sledding and tobogganing and so on. but the schools would close. At first, I thought it was in honor of my birthday, but I learned later that it wasn't. But anyway, the schools would be closed for a couple of weeks, and I'd celebrate Christmas. 2 days later, celebrate my birthday. And then a few days after that, celebrate New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And it was just 2 weeks full of celebration. And I always felt very, very gifted that I had a birthday right between Christmas and New Year's. So that was always a big deal for me, and sort of still is. Although, you know, as you go through the years and the family starts to shrink, the Christmas celebrations are a little bit muted than what they were in the past, but it's still a favorite time of year for me. And GZQ, okay, on the 222, well, you taught me a few things about what that piece of gear is, and I appreciate that. Basically an AM processor. And I know with your experimentation that you'll eventually get that settled down to where you want it to be. So anyway, I'm going to make this my final transmission because we're getting into that time of the morning where things are starting to drop a little bit. But I'm going to be listening along here for the next several minutes. So again, I appreciate you guys letting me in here this morning, and really appreciate it. There's as Perry, like you were saying, there's no greater way to begin a day than to drop down here to 75 meters and meet up with the AM gang. And it's as I say, no better way to start a day, and that's what I enjoy doing. So 7-3s to all, and I'm not picking up BJ, so I'm gonna shoot it to Kevin GZQ, and he can straighten us out here on the rotation. KK4GZQ in the group, W2BNY.
Good morning, KN4HH.
Hey, I just barely heard Bob, KN4HH. Bob, why don't you go ahead and pick it up? I don't think BJ is there, Steve, but Bob, send it up to Kevin, KA2ZNI, and if you'll drag your feet, BJ can jump back in. KN4HH in the group. Good morning, KK4GZQ. 7-3, Steve.
Okay, Kevin, you're just a little rough this morning. KK4GZQ in the group, KN4HH. Very, very good. Let me say good morning, W2BNI. Glad to hear you this morning. Good signal down here in Atlanta, Georgia. And Kevin, yeah, we're not having good luck this morning, so maybe the other Kevin can hear me. I certainly hope so. The band is long, so we probably won't have any trouble. I've got about as much power as I can generate here this morning. Well, turn it up to you. Let's see if you're having any luck with me this morning. KA2ZNI, KN4HH.
Okay, very good, Bob. KN4HH here in the group this morning. KA2ZNI, very good morning to you, Bob. Nice to hear you on this morning. Doing a great job up here for this time of the morning. Yeah, the pain is just a little bit all over the place here. Signals are good for the most part. I hear you fine. I never did hear BJ in there. So the band will probably start shortening up here. It's going on 5:30, so probably about another hour here, and we'll start seeing some daylight. And it sounds like Steve. So and I think the band is probably going to start shortening up here before too long. So it's great to hear you in there, Bob. And I'll tell you what, Steve, if you're listening, probably still are. I mean, that is funny. We both got the same birthday. We both still living there, but lived in the same area. You know, living where I was born. That's funny. A couple of parallels there, so that's pretty cool. So we got the birthday on the same day, man. That is neat. So I was kind of laughing when I heard that. And as far as the comments from you, Perry, I'll tell you, it's great to get on here in the morning and bouncing around with you guys. Well, it's a little rough. I wish the conditions were better because I really enjoy hearing the guys, from down south, like Bob there and, a couple of the other guys down in that area that get on here, regularly, and that just, the bad conditions a lot of times just don't help out. So hopefully down the road when things improve in the next year or two, we'll be able to, sit in here and have some good round tables, and everybody will be able to hear everybody direct on having to resort to web SDRs and this and that. But with that said, I really do enjoy getting in here, bouncing it around, and hearing you guys in here. I wish I could do it more often. The way my work schedule falls is on a work week. I'm still out working right now. Being at work at midnight, I don't get home till 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So thankfully, at that time of the morning, there's a few guys here locally in Wisconsin that enjoy AM. And so we get our AM fixing every day. But it would be nice to get on here a little more often in the morning hours. Christmas week, probably end up taking an extra day or two off. So I might be able to pop in here a couple of more mornings than what I usually would. But we'll see how that goes. But we'll get in here when we can and bounce it around when we can. Great signals. I'll say good morning to you, Jerry. So, fantastic signal in here this morning, as you'll hear on that recording I took. 20 over 9 plus, and sounding fine business there, OM. Doing a great job. With that, I'll keep this thing going because the band is probably going to start shortening up on us. It goes over to... Okay, where do that takes so many notes. Probably too many notes. All right, I think it goes over to you, Kevin, if I've got the order correct. If not, straighten me out. KK4GZQ. Wait a minute. Yeah, Jerry's after you, that's right. KK4GZQ to take it. KA2ZNI.
There was a distant breaker out there, Jerry. I don't know if you or Bob or somebody that I'm not hearing is picking up that breaking station, but I did hear one. Good morning. Did hear you up here. KA2ZNI with the group KK4GZQ. Good morning to Bob again, KN4HH with, normally Bob is just swapping my S meter up here, but this morning it's a little bit. So anyway, that's just the story. Everybody knows that. Anyway, Jerry, I've been on here since about 3:42 a.m. And I was testing earlier before Kevin came on with the dynamic microphone with the 222. Clearly the D104 had more gain, and I don't know if I've just got my output level adjusted wrong or what have you, or maybe the mic itself, I'm not sure. It's just a little plastic hand mic, and it did not, even with the 222, it didn't perform miracles for that microphone. It sounded good and clean. And I did get I copied what you said about the preemphasis being on or off, whichever the case may be. Just try to check it. Preemphasis being a curve. So okay on that, Jerry. 73 Steve, W2BNY, Kevin and Steve have the same birthday. That's pretty cool. And we'll have to remember on the 27th to remember both of you. And Jerry, sinuses, yes, mine's been terrible the last couple of days. I've been keeping a bottle of that spray in here every morning. I have to get up. I've got at least one side completely clogged. I'll tell you, that stuff's horrible. And it seems like it just rolls. After I lay down to sleep at night, I get up in the morning and I'm all clogged up. Copied Perry's comments about W1AW with the 1VC transmission to the transatlantic transmission. I think, was that Perry? Did they lay a line on the ocean floor? Is that it? Maybe it's something different. I do remember this commemorative that they have from year to year. And speaking of interesting, I heard Bob Farrell in there last night. I think it's K9EID. I think he was set up at his location there in Illinois. He wasn't in Illinois. And I think he was in Illinois at where their operation. He said he got on just briefly with Craig and them. I didn't get a chance to say hello to him. So with that, Jerry, let me send it over to you. Again, good morning, everybody. I'm still here. Bob, Jerry, Barry, and Kevin. And I think Steve checked out. So here it comes up to you, Jerry. And I'm hoping you find on the Massachusetts SDR. K9GAS, take it. KK4GZQ.
Still there, Jerry? W3MMR.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't tell if he turned it to me or not, Perry. He is down to nothing. So, yeah, I could just tell he was there. So I won't keep it long. I'll make this my last one as well. Good morning, Bob. And I thought I did hear BJ say my IB earlier, but maybe he was just saying he was out, but I thought I heard him give his call, but I think him and Kevin may have doubled, and you probably heard Kevin, so I don't know if he was still here or not. And BJ, if you are, good morning to you. Wasn't real strong, but I heard you. And Bob, you're not your big booming self as usual, but heard you just fine. So anyway, I'll say good morning. Barry, I thought you had checked out, so I'll turn it to you. I think that's where it goes. And but if you did check out, thanks for jumping back in there to relay, because I just, yeah, the band is switching here. I wasn't sure if it's going long or just real short or just going south, but anyway, and Kevin, thanks for that. Yeah, and I got one of you as well. It's rendered. I'll upload it here real quick into the folder we share, and you'll be able to see that. So, and one thing about getting sick is I get my Don Williams voice out, so I have to break the guitar out and start singing his songs. So I can't sing it on my paper. Let's see, and Steve, good morning to you, and again, good morning to you, Bob, and Kevin, if you're on the KA2ZNI, good morning to you. Yeah, I prefer direct, and the way this thing is, I haven't really got all the ins and outs of it, but with the very lack of imports, and it only has one audio out from the computer, so it's a bit weird. I tend to shy away from it, so I guess it's not really important to me right at this moment. Go ahead, and I'll say my good mornings. Good to hear everybody in a little AM fix this morning. So W3MMR over to you, and I guess down to Bob, I think, is where it would go. If that's what I understand. If you checked out Bob, over to you, but I think there might be good one more. This is cool. Good morning, earlier on.
I got Jerry got my feet there for a second. K9GAS, the AM Breakfast Club, W3MMR. Well, 7-3 to you, Jerry, and 7-3 to Steve, BNY, if you're still within earshot. Great hearing you this morning, and it's great hearing everybody this morning. I think Kevin signed as well, ZNI, so they're dropping like flies, so I'm going to get out of here as well. Get another cup of coffee, turn around a bit, and see what's going on down the Vandaways. Oh boy. And Kevin, about the 1BCG transatlantic test. No, it was it was wireless. The construction of the station and all technical data has been recorded elsewhere. Blah blah blah. The antenna system consisted of a T-type cage with a 100-foot flat top, 70 feet high, and a radial counterpoise in place on the ground. Before Uniform Victor 204 radiotrons were used in the transmitter. One is the master oscillator, and 3 in parallel is amplified. 25 volt direct current power supply. So that's just a short little thing on that. But yeah, you can look it up. One BCG transatlantic test. There's a whole bunch of information online about it, which is pretty cool. And that's what Clark N1BCG his call is after. And I think he lives like right down the street from where this took place. Where they were transmitting from. I think it was right around the corner from him and Rob, N1ALF. We're very close to there, so I guess it holds a special place in his heart. But nevertheless, I think that's all I got. And Steve was saying that me and my father are phrasing and the way we speak is pretty similar. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I guess it's not necessarily the accent, but I guess the way we phrase words and the sentences and the type of, I don't know what, but I guess we sound the same. So nevertheless, 7-3 guys, it's always fun. I love getting here with you guys in the morning, and we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow morning. So I was turning it to BNY, and I think ZNI signed. So over to you, Kevin. KK4GZQ in the dwindling group 7-3 from W3MMR. Oh, Bob was in there too. Good Lord, sorry, Bob. And good morning to you. KN4HH, big signal everybody. I'm sorry. KN4HH 7-3 from W3MMR.
Hey, okay, very good, Terry. Not a problem. W3MMR and the group KN4HH. Well, I'm going to echo what Steve said about your audio. I don't know your voice personally, Terry, but that modulation you have is so great. It articulates your voice perfectly. I watch on the Panadap every morning. I widen out the Panadap because the audio is perfectly symmetrical. It looks really good. Congratulations on such a great signal. And you always put in a good, strong signal. You and Craig both up there in the PA always have a really good sounding signal, so I want to congratulate you on it. Thanks for the 1BCG. Yeah, I'd done a little, I'd heard some other guys talking about it, and that was pretty fascinating stuff, sure enough. And Gary, good morning to you. Hope you have a great day today. I know Steve has already signed, and see Kevin's and I did not hear BJ, but I'll take a long pause to see if BJ. I'm not sure if I'd hear it. I think the band is too long, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to turn it up to you, Kevin, to KA2ZNI, because that's where I've been turning it before. And yeah, one of my best friends in high school, his birthday was on the 24th, so he really got rooked between birthday and Christmas. But at any rate, that's a great way of what Steve said. Celebrations and so forth. Okay, Kevin, big signal. Great signal down here. You and Terry are the leaders of the pack. Over to you, Kevin. KA2ZNI, KN4HH.
Fade out a little bit. Shut that off. Alrighty, Bob, very good. KN4HH here in the group. Sorry about that. I had 300 things going at once. KA2ZNI. Yeah, I'll make this one my last one here. I'll say 73s to you, Bob, and Steve, and Perry, Kevin, Jerry, and DJ. I think I covered everybody. So great to hear you all in here this morning. Yeah, the signals are starting to get marginal. Jerry, you're still pounding in at 20 over 9 plus. But Perry almost out of my receive that time, and he was on his way out. So it's definitely time for the band to change and shorten up. So appreciate everybody letting us in here this morning to bounce it around with you. Boy, great signals here this morning, and got a little bit of an AM fix in here. Got some things going on here in the shack as well, so I need to get out and attend to a couple of other things going on. But I want to say good morning to everybody. Hope to catch you all in here tomorrow morning. And with that, we'll send it over to, I think it'll go over to you, Kevin. So I am out of here. 7-3s, guys. KK4GZQ. Hey, you all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same frequency. Later. KK4GZQ to take it. KA2ZNI, listening out.
Okay, Kevin. KA2ZNI. Most of the group signed. I think Bob's still in KN4HH, but I'm actually going to follow you out. It's close. And I'm going to get off on the side and do a few other things. Maybe get back over the dummy load and do a few more. See if I can teach myself some more about this 222. And Perry, if you're still listening, okay on the wireless transmission. I remember it now, and I remember looking at the 100-foot flat top. Okay on the 2,500-volt direct power supply. Golly. And I've looked at that before. I'll have to go back and revisit that. And I know what you mean about, especially us down here, we have a little different dialect. You know, all over the place you go, you're going to run into that all over the whole world. But, I think you and your dad, you guys have a lot of similarity in the way you sound, of course. You being his son and being from the same area and et cetera. And Dan and I, KD4U, there's a lot of stations that out there still think we're the same guy. I guess it's because we articulate similarly and then our dialect is similar. And close to about the same age as well. So that's at least my thoughts on that. Anyway, DX100 sounded good up there this morning, Terry. I'm not sure what you're running, but just a light copy up here this morning, and copying you just fine on the web SDR there in Massachusetts. So I noticed my signal starting to fade down on it, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out of here. We'll say 73 all the way around. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to be here with all of you as usual. So KN4HH to wrap it up for us. Here's KK4GZQ 73 and so long from Lexington.
Okay, Kevin, very good. KK4GZQ, KN4HH. Alrighty, Kevin. Well, I've been very fortunate this morning. I hear everybody direct, so I really enjoy that. A lot of the other guys I do. Of course, we all prefer to operate direct, but I think it's cool. Some people have different opinions about it, but, communication is what it is. So, at any rate, Kevin, get back on there and do some work. I've got a little project I'll do here, mainly making coffee. 73's, Kevin, thanks for being here this morning, and all the guys. It's been a pleasure. 73's on. KN4HH signing off. Good morning, all.
Do one quick test. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to change my... this. No, that's not right.
Well, what I heard so far, Kevin, you might still be changing the mic. The mic sounds extremely good, nice and mellow. The second mic, you've made just a word or two, not not nearly as good quality. So I'll stand by. KN4HH.
Okay, Bob. Adjusting on the output level. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Okay, Bob.